I grew up listening to Jay-Z. I would say Jay-Z and Kanye probably had the biggest influence on me. And there's a lot in Jay-Z's music that I'm so grateful for because he made it clear on how to move in a business room, I would say.
Yeah.
So many of his lyrics talking about, you know, this is how I think about it when they want me to do their shows. Like, how are they benefiting off of me, my brand? He's thinking like a boss. But then he gets up on stage and him and his wife tell people to vote for Hillary Clinton. I know Jay-Z is smart enough to know that's wrong. I know he's smart enough to know that's wrong because I listened to the DNA of his music. So if you got out, why don't you tell other people how to get out? And that's when I lost respect for Jay-Z, and it is what made me gain more respect for Kanye because he is willing to say stuff that makes him unfavorable in Hollywood, where I think Jay-Z really cares about what Hollywood thinks about him. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Jay-Z, unbelievably talented, can't deny it. Beyonce, unbelievably talented, can't deny it. Kanye West, I would say a genius, can't deny it. Unfortunately, you stood on someone who is very up and down with what he says. Does that not, like, if I had a teammate that just kept going back and forth, it's kind of hard to like stand out. And like, let me give you an example. My mom and dad would come up to me and they'd be like, hey, if you're voting for Trump, don't talk about that. And I was like, damn, we got to a place where it's hard to even voice what you're voting for or what you're siding with. And then I realized that my mom was trying to teach me a lesson. Be careful on who you stamp your name on, because now how they act or how they portray themselves or any of that is going to reflect you, because people are going to be like, well, you signed off on this man. So how do you sign off on a man who stands on a car and says, yo, Jesus is coming, you got to be about good things, all this stuff, but then I'm a sick fuck, I like a quick fuck the next day. You could see when Kanye has his eyes on Christ, and then you could see it when he's like, oh, I need to get these numbers up or stuff like that.
So I think the single most important thing that Kanye has told about himself publicly, which weighs into my mind when he makes music like that, is that he's addicted to pornography. He's talked about that. It's a huge societal ill. Like, it's not something that men normally talk about, like being addicted to pornography, being addicted to sex, talking about how he felt like he was introduced to pornography too early, right? And so when, in my view, I think that is an addiction in the battle that lives with him, you know, and has come out in his music at certain times. I can't listen to that music. I do not listen to that music. I do not.
Doesn't that make it worse if you don't mind me asking?
No, but I'm very honest about the fact that I don't listen to pornographic lyrics.
No, not you. But like,
I can't listen to pornographic.
Come on, Candace, what are you doing?
And it's funny because it means that I've really raised my frequency because I can't hear it. It makes me cringe. I used to listen to it when I was young. It didn't impact me.
But now you woke up,
but
and you're
now
like,
that I've woken
I can hear the programming.
And I've realized how important it is, what you put into your ears. I quite literally cannot listen to that kind of music. It does something to my soul.
But so my question is, now that you know that, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? You're young enough for me to ask that.
34.
34.
You can always ask me. I don't live by that rule. If I'm 65, I'll be like, I'm 65.
So you're 34 years old, but you seem to be like, from my POV of just meeting you, but seems like if you learn it, I got it, move on. So how could you work alongside somebody who just said, hey, I'm addicted to pornography. It ruined my marriage.
That's brave.
But then he goes back to teaching kids to do that shit.
That's how addiction works. Right, so for
but
me,
it's different. But I'm not. If I was
you're
sitting in the studio for hours, no. That's like days of work.
This is a conversation you got to have with Kanye. I don't listen to that music. I don't promote that music. And if I'm standing next to Kanye for something that he is saying and being honest about, I am co-signing what he is saying and doing. So when he put on the MAGA hat, it was a very significant moment for Black America.
Huge.
You do not have to vote Democrat.
He lost a lot of fans.
He lost so many fans for saying that.
But he gained too, so that's good.
Right, and so that never been done. You never could have seen that. Rappers just know, even if they're saying it privately that they like Trump, they would have never, ever, ever said that and been honest about that until Kanye took all of the bullets for being like, you have another option, Black America. And I commend that bravery.
Got it.
Right? If I was sitting next to him or in that video, then you could talk to me about that. Yeah. Candace, do you accept? No, I don't like that kind of music at all.
So you're good at picking and choosing what?
Well, yeah, and not, I mean, do you know his music? The majority of his, like when we're talking about, you know, all the way from his early days all through now, like, yes, he has a lot of, especially on this recent album, there's one song that's really great, but I can't listen to it because the lyrics are too pornographic. For me, personally, Carnival is just way too pornographic. people can take that if they want to, but on me, in terms of what I talk about on my platform, I'm not going to promote, pornography. I tell people that what you put in your ears is what you will put in your heart. But I also know that if I was me when I was 15, I wouldn't be listening to Candace at 34 because I was listening to that music,
Got it.
So
Yeah.
people are complicated. They're absolutely complicated, but I can't be meant to answer for Kanye's addictions, Kanye's afflictions, Kanye's convictions, because I'm not Ye.
Got it. Hold the phone. You're not Ye?
I'm not Ye. I'm sorry.
No,
This interview is not going to go as viral as anticipated because I am not Ye.